Welcome back. This is Mission Administrator Sylvester. I deem it on high honor and authority and throne and table of the Lord, from a great power, virgin, holy light, and invisible spirit of the Lord that saveth unto the greatest. I decree and declare the throne, the princehood, the prince dominion, and the principality, the powers, the thrones of the altar of the universe. Let the power of him that made it establish and knowledge and healing and advancement in technology in every situation that makes it possible. Let him that also decree the sword of the living unto the living hand of the base light. Let him also take the power and move according to his word. He that gives training authority and give life authority, it does not fail to be given what it is. Whoever doesn't wish my goodness and to the glory of a prophecy that is given many generations any day, let the time show that whatever I decide to do in the name of the Lord and the power of the name of creation of the supernatural, let it never fail. As the one on this channel is not made from a different hand other than my true hand, and it's showing what the Lord could want you to also know right now. As guided, if you're an angel, you lead toward guidance, whatever the destiny is that you also give a location to. Let the power of him never fail. For nobody transformed into the Lord to him that is holy, except him that is virgin, whom the Lord has made a single home, that never failed, and estate the Lord gave. Let him that saith in daily days, for a cathedral or power of a most mighty throne of the living ministry of great mission and ministry Sylvester. Let him take the dominion and authority over all things. We decree and declare any power of distraction and manipulation from any external source. And I decree and declare, even of the power of the vampires, let anything that is trying to take a form in the image of you and in the image of myself, which is not the will of the light and invisible and power of him that is holy and supernatural, let that be broken now. I detach my face and from all things that is days, minus every uncleanness. I decree and declare that my word is more than just piercing sword and supernaturally controlling the whole world. This is my dominion, that when I take a throne as a great prince, queens, and authority and princesses, nobody else come in, because the power of whom it is given, it cannot be a fake one. I take authority and charge with what I'm given through the prophecies, and many times I decree and declare again that the word that comes from the Greek letters, here we're going to be looking at the letter G in the letters, as from the Greek letters. Very important that we need to talk about. Here it is. That if you want to say that the Lord is giving, let's see what the Lord really has given. Here is the most powerful thing that we need to learn about it. And in the scripture of the Bible, it tells actually that in the beginning, as translated to the English language, they tell you then that Alpha and Omega is this. You want to talk about what begins the word. That he described himself also in the word Revelation, he described it. That he is Lord indeed of the throne, that he is and it should be and it should become what it is. He is the Alpha and Omega. So having this in the Greek letters tells truly that the great letter indeed it is that makes manifest what it is of the Lord. So that we will be considering, even of what they are saying is Tian and then Shangdi. All these are things connected to what we're trying to say. So the G as in God, we don't want to say is a God or a supernatural force that we say exists. Here we're going to talk about that. I want to also urge you, if you haven't subscribed to the Mission and Mrs. Sylvester channel, you get to take this opportunity and do that. You don't do any service today if you do the right thing. You are doing it to yourself. As my will is the January that the 19000, and that is 1988. Having the angelic authority of my birth and calculation and work, that we don't need any other authority than accepting what the Lord has given now. That the January can only be the one to the February what the Lord has made or hid in between the 2 months. Thank you very much. You are so very much and welcome to this very knowledge and understanding. If you wish to understand what the Lord has said, it will be the path that the angel will show you. Then we will consider every aspect of it. That right from this, we would never also give up on what is doing the right thing and bringing the light. It is live that I broadcast from Accra, GH, right here in Century. That is the main location at Umbrella Junction. It is very great and interesting to know that the Lord had prayed that you may be given, that I command and control every force and element that the Lord is giving to you, that it may adapt to the great power and energies that you may be given. So talking about these very important letters will be why we're going to talk about the G and the G in the letters and the G in the words, why the Lord says it's so important to us. Here we will take a first presentation. What the Lord has given is not from your enemies. So take a look at this very important word. That is it, this Greek and then word. We want to say that who invented the letter G? And then it says that the evolution of the Latin alphabet G can be traced back into what? To the Latin alphabet's predecessor, the Greek alphabet. So they got it actually from that very Greek alphabet. So most of the things that have been created, we want to say that the Lord should go on and continue to do it as He wills, and that it says the void velar stop was represented by the what? X, the what? Third letter of the Greek alphabet. And so in this, to say the letter C in another man's language is the G. So you don't have to count up to that numbers to get to G, many numbers, but in just getting to letter A, B, C, that is a G. So here it is, to be very, very considerate in this. What did they say is the G, and how did they get to make this G? And it says what? It states that is represented X, the third letter of the Greek alphabet. So you're going to look at what it says, the Greek alphabet, the third place of it. And it says what? Gamma. And gamma is this reading, which it says what? Was later adopted by the what? The Etruscan. So Etruscan or the Etruscan E language. You're going to be interested in more of this. Let's get to it quickly. It's very important to know what the Lord is doing now. Very crucial to understand that this word is what they're saying. Here we're going to take a look quickly. Here is the word that it's said to be what? Gamma. So the gamma, as you can see on the table right here, is a Greek letter, and under the name, you see the A we get later, as you want to say alpha. And in the scripture, you want to say it is already. And then the B is what? Beta. And then the gamma, which they say is what? Is the one in the place of G. That is coming with the letter. Here it is. That you want to say the equivalent of what they're trying to say. What it really looks like or what it means. And the pronunciation on the other hand. That sounds so well in a word. So we're going to look at what it is actually to talk about. What they are saying is alpha. So we actually have what? Alpha. In Greek letters, they have what? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, silent EP or Epsilon or Psion. Then we have zeta, we have eta, we have theta, we have lota, we have kappa, we have lambda, we have mu, we have nu, we have xi, we have omicron, we have pi, we have rho, we have sigma, we have tau, we have epsilon, we have many other things that you want to understand what the Lord is doing. Yeah, here very, very important to know what the Lord is doing. And we also have what? We have phi, or we have phi, or we have chi. We have also a psi. We also have omega. That is what the letter omega says, ohm. And in technology, you're going to find out the symbol and the ohm in technology. Telling you, you can trust that the Lord is doing it. Thank you very much, as the Lord cannot fail to do what He's also planned to do. This is what we want to look at if He permits it. So all these things are what we're trying to look at as it represents what we are saying. And look at the letter G and what it has to offer us. So let the Lord rule. And what did they say is the letter G? And how did we actually get this letter G? And here's it. It says, the recorded originator of G is Friedman Spurius Carvalhos Roga, who added letter G to the teaching of the Roman alphabet during the 3rd century BC. So already in this Accra or GH, where we are living in century, means that it is very important to also know such things or things written about century. And he said he was the what? The first Roman to open a fee-paying school around 230 BC. Before him, that you want to say is what you were told in the Bible. So here it is. To go on easily, let the Lord rule continuously, as He would urge nobody else to do this better than His archangel. And what would they say that is what? He said, what does the letter G mean in the Bible? And in the Bible, it said the root or gamal means to deal out to, or to give, or win. Another word, gab or jimel, means either recompense or benefit. And this is why getting the things of the letter G is already coded to what? What you don't understand. The letter G itself is what you want to say is the authority or the power or the benefit, or for reasons that you use the G to represent a god or a deity. Already the G is what you need. The function of the G is what recommend that you acknowledge it. Not another deity or force somewhere, but that to know what already is coded in the letter G, that we're going to find out. And it said, indicating that the nature or nature of the giving can lead to either a seed or judgment for the one who gives. So that if you see somebody give and later also receiving judgment, it based on how the giving was made or done, that you want to say truly is of the Lord or the Spirit. Now let's take a look quickly at the little spirit we will need. The Lord is not fake. Now let's take a first word of the G, how it is coded here on the channel. So we are looking at actually what A to Z means Alpha and Omega. So A to Z actually means what? Alpha and Omega in Greek letters. So we're going to look at that. And it says what is the first G in the power of it? G. It says Gaia. The Gaia is what? Protogenary. And what does it mean to say protogenary? That's the name of another deity or a god. And what does it mean? It says the firstborn or the firstborn deity, great goddess personifying the earth. So the earth on which they live is what they are saying was Gaia. So if it's Gaia, then we power it right now with a supernatural force. That is actually of the Virgin, not just name, not a religion. It is what makes it what it is. Now let's consider what it goes on to say. Now we have Galatia or Galatia. And in Galatia, you know, in the Bible, it's written that we have what? We have Galatia, which talks about spirit and the fruit of the spirit that says what? It is love, suffering, long suffering, this and all of that. So that when you have Galatia talking about spirit, that the fruit of spirit itself has to come with love, then when love itself is working, you will be connected wherever you are, in any location. And that is what you should what? Acknowledge the Lord, that He is. We cannot say that somebody else is trying to what, do better than it is on the screen showing. Let nothing change what we're doing. Let the Lord rule continuously. So it says that Nereid, Nymph, is a daughter of what? Nereus and Doris, and a lover of Aziz, and pursued by Polyphemus. Then we got also Galatia in the second place. And it says a name given to a statue created, X what? Paul, or you want to say Gemalian, or Simalian, and brought to what? Life, X what? Aphrodite. And I know that in the Bible they told you that the Lord make a clay form of human and breathe life into it. So you say it right here, life. That if the Lord is the one leading you, you definitely get all that He, the Lord, say it is. I try to also get to this, Lord, the Lord rule continuously. And it goes on to say that we also have a Galen. It's a Nereid, daughter of Nessus, or Nereus, and Doris. And it's also a what? A Greek goddess of calm sea. Then they told you that the Christ walk on water. Or when He said, be still, then all the things function. These are all the things that code and decode the scripture Bible. So that you cannot throw things away. Without knowledge, you will never know what is written. Where the creation itself is written in the Greek word, alphabet. Why they code it to the understanding of creation. And the name of their God is what made a thing. So you cannot change any other name to this than what it is. And it says, well, we also have Ganymede, or Ganymede, or you want to say Ganymede. And it says what? That is Trojan T or Trojan. And this one comes with what? The genre. The Trojan T or Trojan T, prince. So it's a prince of what? So Prince Trojan T or Prince T Trojan. And it says son of Elos. Abducted by what? Abducted by, the by is what? X now. So abducted X Zeus to become his lover and the cupbearer. Who are the cupbearers? Only way is know what is in January. The water bearer. This is all that is written here that nobody understands in the whole world in the beginning. And in the Christ teaching, you saw that He lifted the cup or the jar. All this tells you where it is that you don't know. Of what? Of the gods upon what? Mount Olympus. And here again, continue, it says the calendar. The calendar. And you can see where they have the word calendar. How things are connected spiritually. And it said the mortal king. So if I be not a mortal king and immortal, how would you know what the Lord has said? If you see it on the screen, so you want to find out also in my flesh, physically. And it said what? Mortal king, modal. So modal king is what? Son of Saint Helenus or Helilas or Henilas, king of Argos. So when you see the word Argos or Argos, then you want to know Sandy Beth, the ladies part of it is called Argos. So if you have Argos, it's definitely going to have this name, Argos or Argos. And it says also what? It continues to say that Jeras. Then Jeras, what is Jeras? He said, early God, son of Neas, which is NYX. You want to even have New York City in this word right now. That is New York City. How things are written and coded to what? Why you see what happens, and unless you find out that you must be given. And it says what? It's what? Greek god of old age. So Neos, which is Nice, you want to say New York City is what you're saying is a Greek god of old age. Now, thank you so much. We're going to go on if the life continues. As already, these are the original spirit and the scripture the Lord is showing you. That let it be according to his will. And I'm broadcasting live. Live. So let him that is Lord rule over the channel. Yeah, let him rule over the channel as he cannot fail. Whatever is trying to manipulate the screen, let it be not the will of the Lord, but delete whatever is trying to spoil what I'm doing, as is not the will of whom it is done here right now. For what I'm doing is of the Lord himself, not of my enemy. Let my enemy go to sleep right now. Yes, let him go to sleep right now. What are we continuing with? That even what I'm doing, the stream or system doesn't want to go on with it. And I've not gone out of the house. The same person who started it is the same person doing it. Find out if the Lord indeed is the one rewarding of all creator truth or lies. Let it roll quickly. Let the authority of the sword of the archangel rule over the channel right away. We can't just get everything done